Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! For the past 4 years, I've been signing my daughter up for swim lessons at our local city pool. Helen, the program organizer, has always run things smoothly. She uses the pool before it opens to the public, and we parents communicate through a Facebook page she set up. It's been great, really. My daughter loves the water, and I love seeing her confidence grow with each lesson. This year started like any other. We filled out the paperwork, paid our fees, and looked forward to another summer of splashing and learning. But then, out of nowhere, Helen dropped a bomb on us. 2 days before the second session was supposed to start, Helen made a post on a Facebook page. My jaw nearly hit the floor when I read it. Attention, all parents. The entire second session of swim lessons is cancelled. I'm retiring and will not be offering any more classes. No refunds will be given. Thank you for your understanding. Understanding? Oh, I didn't understand at all. Neither did the other parents, judging by the flood of comments that followed. Helen, what's going on? We've already paid for these classes. You can't just cancel everything without explanation or refunds. Another parent says, this is ridiculous. What are we supposed to do with our kids now? We planned our whole summer around these lessons. Helen says, as stated in the paperwork you all signed at the beginning of the year, no refunds will be given. This is non-negotiable. But that doesn't apply here. We're not getting any classes at all. Helen did not respond to my comments. In fact, she stopped responding to anyone. It was like she'd vanished into thin air, leaving us all high and dry. I wasn't about to let this go. I called the local pool, hoping they might have some answers. The conversation went something like this. Hello, city pool, how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling about the swim lessons organized by Helen. Do you know what's going on? Oh boy, you're not the first to call about this. To be honest, we're as in the dark as you are. We've been trying to reach Helen ourselves, but she's not returning our calls either. So you have no idea why the classes were cancelled? None at all. We just know she's not showing up anymore. This is unbelievable. What are we supposed to do? I'm sorry, but since Helen runs the program independently, there is not much we can do from our end. You might want to consider legal actions. Legal actions. Those words stuck in my head. I couldn't believe it had come to this over swim lessons, but I wasn't about to let Helen get away with practically stealing our money. I decided to reach out to some of the other parents. We needed to band together if we were going to get anywhere. I created a new Facebook group and invited everyone I could remember from Helen's classes. Hey everyone, I've made this group so we can figure out what to do about Helen and our missing swim lessons. Has anyone had any luck contacting her? Parent 1 says, nothing, she's completely ghosted us all. Parent 2, I've left voicemails, sent emails, even tried messaging her on Facebook, but radio silence. Parent 3, this is insane. She can't just take our money and run. I tell her I agree. I think we need to look into our legal options. Does anyone know a lawyer who might be able to advise us? Parent 4 says, my cousin's a lawyer. I can ask her for some general advice, but she doesn't practice in Ohio. That would be great, thanks. In the meantime, I'm going to look into filing a complaint with the Ohio Attorney General office. We spent the next few days sharing information and ideas. Some parents had found old emails from Helen with her home address. Others had screenshots of conversations where she had promised certain services. We were building a case piece by piece. I filed a complaint with the Ohio Attorney General office detailing everything that had happened. I made sure to include the exact wording of the refund policy from the paperwork we'd signed. Refunds for this class will not be issued except for a medical reason, such as sickness or severe injury. Do not ask. Even as I typed it out, I knew it couldn't be legally binding. You can't just refuse to provide a service and keep the money. That's not how things work. A few days after filing the complaint, I decided to share our story on Reddit. I figured maybe someone there would have dealt with something similar and could offer advice. The response was overwhelming. People were outraged on our behalf, and many offered helpful suggestions. One comment in particular caught my eye. The city can't really do much here. The whole no refund thing isn't really applicable though. This isn't a refund in a traditional sense. Everyone can sue her in small claims court. You can just offer a service, take the money, not provide the service, and then pocket the cash. So, small claims court. Small claims court. It seemed so obvious now that someone had spilled it out. I shared this information with the other parents in our Facebook group, and we started discussing how to proceed. But before we could take any further action, something unexpected happened. I decided to share our Reddit post in Helen's original Facebook group, just to let her know we weren't giving up. And wouldn't you know it, within hours, Helen suddenly reappeared. Attention all parents, I understand there has been some confusion and frustration regarding the cancellation of swim lessons. To resolve this issue, I am willing to send checks to those who confirm their addresses. Please message me privately with your information. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Was she actually backing down? I quickly typed out a response. Helen, I'm glad you're finally addressing this. Will you be refunding the full amount for the cancelled classes? Yes, full refunds will be issued. However, I am removing you from this group for causing unnecessary drama. Your check will be sent to the address on file. I laughed out loud when I saw her response. Drama? We were just trying to get back the money we were owed, and her attempt to remove me from the group was laughable. She clearly didn't know how to actually ban someone from a She clearly didn't know how to actually ban someone from a Facebook group. Over the next few days, parents started reporting that they were receiving their refund checks. I kept a close eye on my mailbox, but nothing arrived. A week passed, then two, and I started to wonder if Helen had singled me out of retribution. I reached out to the other parents in our group. Has everyone received their refund checks by now? Parent 1 says, got mine last week. Parent 2, same here. Parent 3, still waiting, but Helen messaged me saying it's on the way. I tell him, I haven't gotten anything, and she's not responding to my messages. I'm starting to think she's not going to send mine. Parent 4 answers, that's not right. What are you going to do? I guess it's time to follow through on that small claims court idea. I've got all the screenshots and documentation. She can't ignore a court summons like she's been ignoring us. And that's where I find myself now. I never imagined I'd be filing a small claims lawsuit over swim lessons. Well, here we are. It's not even about the money anymore, it's the principle of the thing. Helen needs to learn that she can't treat people this way and expect to get away with it. So I'm gathering all the evidence, the original paperwork, screenshots of Helen's posts in our conversations, records of my attempts to contact her, everything. I'm going to file this lawsuit and see it through to the end. It might be a hassle, but it'll be worth it to finally put the whole mess behind us and maybe teach Helen a lesson. Update. You won't believe what happened after I decided to take Helen to small claims court. Well, guess what? 2 days after I filed the lawsuit, a check arrived in my mailbox. That's right, Helen finally sent my refund. I was honestly shocked. Part of me wondered if it was just a coincidence, but deep down, I knew it wasn't. Somehow, she must have found out about that lawsuit. I decided to post about it in our parent group. Hey everyone, you'll never guess what just happened. Helen sent me my refund check. Parent 1, no way. Do you think she knew about the lawsuit? I'm pretty sure she did. The timing is too perfect to be a coincidence. Parent 2, well, I'll be darned. Looks like the threat of court was enough to make her do the right thing. Parent 3, are you still going to go through with the lawsuit? That was a big question, wasn't it? I had the check in hand, but parts of me still wanted to follow through. Helen had put us all through so much stress and frustration, but after thinking it over, I decided to drop the case. It just didn't seem worth the time and energy anymore. I did, however, decide to take one last step. I wrote a detailed review of Helen's swim program on every platform I could find. Yelp, Google, Facebook, you name it. I made sure to stick to the facts and keep it professional, but I wanted other parents to know what they might be getting into if they ever considered signing up for her classes. As for me, well, I've signed my daughter up for swim lessons again with a different instructor, of course. But I'll always remember the summer of the great swim lesson fiasco and how it taught me that even the most frustrating situations can sometimes have a silver lining. When I bought a fixer-upper home, my brother offered to help with renovations if I provided food and materials. I thought it was a great deal. At first, things went smoothly. I prepared meals and he seemed satisfied. But soon he started complaining. These meals aren't filling enough. I need more protein. I'm sorry, I'll try to add more protein. I started adding more beans, lentils, and eggs to the dishes, but it wasn't enough. I'm still feeling lightheaded by the end of the day. The work is really intensive. I'm doing my best. Is there anything specific you'd like me to add? Just make them heavier. More protein. I was frustrated but tried to be understanding. Then yesterday, things escalated. My brother fainted while working. After ensuring he was okay, he dropped a bombshell. I need you to make meals with meat in them, or I'm not remodeling anymore. What? I've been trying to accommodate your needs. It's not enough. I'm anemic, and I need meat in almost all the meals. If you don't start making meat based meals, I'm done. Oh, that's extreme. Adding meat to every meal will significantly increase my expenses. That's not my problem. I am doing you a huge favor by remodeling your house. But you offered to help in exchange for food and materials. I've been holding up my end of the deal. Well, that deal's changed. Meat in the meals or I'm out. Can't you bring your own food if you have such specific dietary needs? No way, I'm already doing you a huge favor. I couldn't believe his attitude. He was acting like he was doing charity work when he had an agreement. I tell him, look, I appreciate your help, but you're being unfair here. We had an agreement. I'm already spending a lot on this renovation. You're being selfish. You know I have health issues. That's not what this is about. You're changing the terms of our agreement. If you have such specific dietary needs, you should have mentioned them from the beginning. I didn't think I'd have to spill it out for you. You're my sister. You should know these things. How am I supposed to know exactly what you need in your diet? I am not a mind reader. Our agreement continued, with neither of us willing to budge. I tried to find a compromise, but he wouldn't hear it. He says, there is no middle ground. Either you start making proper meals or I'm out. Don't you think you're being a bit unreasonable? Unreasonable? I'm the one doing all the hard work here. You're just making some food. Just making some food? Do you have any idea how much time and money I'm spending on meals and materials? His attitude was really getting to me. He didn't seem to value my contribution at all. I started to wonder if it was worth continuing this agreement. I tell him, look, I understand that you have specific dietary needs, but you need to understand my position too. I'm already investing a lot in this renovation, and I'm investing my time and skills. What's your point? My point is that we both need to be reasonable. I've been trying to accommodate your needs, but you keep demanding more. I'm only asking for what I need to stay healthy. How is that unreasonable? It's unreasonable because you're changing the terms of our agreement and refusing to compromise. After seeking advice from friends who were shocked by my brother's behavior, I decided to end the arrangement. I tell him, I've been thinking about our situation and I don't think this arrangement is working out. So you're just going to leave your house half renovated? No, I am considering hiring professional help instead. Are you serious? Do you know how much that'll cost you? Yes, I've looked into it. It's expensive, but at least there won't be any misunderstandings or changing demands. I can't believe you'd rather waste money on professionals than just make a few decent meals for your own brother. It's not about the meals anymore, it's about your attitude and your unwillingness to compromise. Fine, good luck with your renovation. Don't come asking me for my help again. And that was that. I'm still processing everything that's happened. Part of me feels guilty for ending our arrangement, but another part feels relieved. I've learned an important lesson about setting clear boundaries, even with family. Moving forward, I'll be hiring professional help for the renovation. It'll be more expensive, but at least I know what I'm getting into. No more surprise demands or guilt trips. I was sitting through another boring meeting at work when my mind started to wander. It made me think about this crazy thing that happened a couple of years ago. Let me tell you about it. I was working from home one day just minding my own business when I got a notification from our security system. I thought, what's going on now? So I checked the cameras and saw three people in our driveway taking pictures. I couldn't believe it. I called my husband over. Hey, come look at this. There are people in our driveway. He came over and looked at the screen. What the heck? Let's go see what's going on. We went outside to investigate. In our driveway, we found a woman, her daughter, and a photographer. They were taking senior portraits in our garden. Can you believe that? Our garden. I went up to them and said, "Excuse me, but this is our private property. You're trespassing." The woman looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. "Oh, don't mind us. We'll just be a few minutes." My husband tried next. "I'm sorry, but you can't be here. This is our home, not a public park." The daughter rolled her eyes. "Mom, can we just keep going? I want to get this over with." The photographer shrugged and kept snapping pictures. I couldn't believe it. They were completely ignoring us. My husband and I looked at each other, not sure what to do next. "Let's go inside," I said. "We need to figure out how to handle this." Once we were back in the house, my husband picked up the phone. "I'm calling the police. This is ridiculous." While he was on the phone, I had an idea. I remembered we still had decorations from our son's birthday party. I went to the pile and found exactly what I was looking for: a giant inflatable T-Rex. I grabbed the T-Rex and headed back outside. The trio was still there, acting like they owned the place. Well, two could play that game. I walked up behind the girl and started dancing with the T-Rex balloon. The photographer lowered his camera, looking confused. He asks me, what are you doing?" "Oh, don't mind me, I'm just enjoying my property." The woman, who I will call Karen because that's exactly what she was, started yelling. "What is wrong with you? You're ruining our photos." "What's wrong with me? You're the ones trespassing on private property." The daughter looked mortified. "Mom, can we please go somewhere else? This is so embarrassing." "No, we were here first. She needs to leave." "I need to leave? This is my house." I kept dancing with the T-Rex, making sure to stay in the background of every shot. The photographer was getting frustrated, trying to angle the camera to keep me out of the frame. "Ma'am, please, we're almost done." "Oh, take your time. I've got all day." My husband came out, still on the phone with the police. "They are on their way." "Oh, nice T-Rex, honey." "Thanks, dear. I thought it added a nice touch to their photos." Karen was fuming at this point. She grabbed her daughter's arm and started pulling her towards their car. "This is unacceptable. We'll be back to finish these photos, and you better not interfere." "Looking forward to it." T-Rex and I will be waiting. They finally left, and my husband and I had a good laugh about it. We thought that was the end of it, but boy were we wrong. A few days later, I was working in my home office when I heard voices outside. I looked out the window and you won't believe what I saw. They were back. Karen, her daughter, and the photographer were sitting up in our yard again. I couldn't believe the audacity. I called my husband at work. "You're not gonna believe this. They are back." "Are you serious?" "I'm coming home right now." I went outside to confront them again. "Excuse me? What do you think you're doing?" "We're finishing our photo shoot. You ruined it last time." "I ruined it? You're trespassing." "Again, it's just a few pictures. Stop being so selfish." "Selfish? This is my property." The daughter looked like she wanted to disappear. "Mom, please, can we go somewhere else?" "No, sweetie. We paid for these photos and we're going to get them done here. It's the perfect backdrop." I was speechless. The entitlement was off the charts. "You need to leave now, or I'm calling the police again." "Go ahead, we'll be done before they get here anyway." I went back inside fuming. I knew calling the police would take too long, but I had an idea. A mischievous, probably not entirely legal idea, but at this point, I was beyond caring. I went to our back door and called for our dog, Max. He's a big, friendly Labrador, but he can be intimidating when he wants to be. More importantly, he is a trained service dog with a very special skill. "Max, come here, boy. Wanna play outside?" Max came bounding over, tail wagging. I grabbed the garden hose on my way out, turning it on full blast. As we stepped outside, Karen and her crew were still sitting up. They hadn't noticed us yet. Last chance to leave. Karen turned around, her face turning red when she saw me. You again? We're not going anywhere. Suit yourself. Max, go say hi. Max took off like a shot, running straight through the group. The daughter screamed and the photographer nearly dropped his camera. Get that mutt away from us! Oh, he's friendly. He just wants to play. Max was running circles around them, barking and jumping. I could see Karen getting more and more agitated. Max, sit. Max immediately sat down right next to Karen. Good boy. Now, pee. And to Karen's horror and my immense satisfaction, Max lifted his leg again, started peeing right on her expensive looking shoes. What the? Did your dog just pee on command? Yep. Neat trick, huh? Now who wants to cool off? Before they could react, I turned the hose on them, spraying them all with ice cold water. The daughter shrieked, the photographer tried to protect his camera, and Karen, well, Karen looked like she was about to explode. You crazy woman! Stop this immediately! Stop what? I'm just watering my lawn. And my dog is just being a dog. If you don't like it, maybe you shouldn't be trespassing on private property. Just then, my husband pulled up. He got out of the car, took one look at the scene, the soaked trespassers, Max running around happily, me wielding the hose like a weapon, and burst out laughing. Honey, I see you've got everything under control. Just taking care of some unwanted pests, dear. The daughter had finally had enough. She was soaking wet and looked utterly mortified. Mom, we're leaving, now. This is the worst idea you've ever had. Karen tried to argue, but even she could see it was a lost cause. They gathered their wet equipment and hurried to their car, with Max barking at their heels. As they drove away, Karen yelled out the window, You'll be hearing from our lawyer. I yelled back, Make sure to tell them about the peeing dog and the impromptu shower. My husband came over and gave me a high five. That was brilliant, honey. Remind me never to get on your bad side. We haven't seen Karen or her crew since that day. I guess they finally got the message that our property was in their personal photo studio. And Max? Well, he got extra treats that day for being such a good boy. You know, looking back on it now, I still can't believe how entitled some people can be, but at least we now have a foolproof method for dealing with the trespassers. A dancing T-Rex, a peeing dog, and a well-aimed garden hose. Who knew home security could be so much fun?
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.